camera one, that far one over there.
Yep.
For your intro. We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sel with GNL. As you're aware, I'm Gage Nicholas Lujan, and today we have a really awesome guest. Awesome for me because it's the first guest that's actually asked me to come onto the show. He's, I would say, a serial entrepreneur, a podcast networker. Probably could say it better, but he does have the pod agency. He gets people on podcasts, whether it's clients, himself, and he comes and joins me. He also has a merch called Millionaire Mindset. However, it's more of just the mindset, but we'll let him get into that later today. Ladies and gentlemen, Brennan Boyd.
What's up, bro? Can I bring you on tour with me?
I need to do a lot better if you're going to take me on tour than that.
Nah, man. Listen, I mean, you got it. I done seen some episodes, bro.
It's been a minute. I've been busy, dude. 10
Yeah.
homes in 10 weeks. I haven't shot any podcasts, so we're getting back into it.
Yeah. I mean, what's good about podcasting is you could just batch. So you could just take a day, do 3, 4, and you got a month. You know what I'm saying?
Just bring like 3 or 4 extra shirts. You know?
100%.
That's what we're doing today, but
yeah.
So, what's going on, brother?
Not
How's
much, man.
life?
I'm appreciative of being here. You know, I was up at 4 a.m. I mean, I normally get up at 4.
Because
anyway.
you drove in today.
I drove in today. I like flying into Vegas because it's only 45 minutes from LA, but I do enjoy driving times because, you know, especially during that time early in the morning, it's quiet. There's not a lot going on. I can think. I can do my audiobook. I have time to myself. I've always enjoyed just driving, you know, when I was younger. So, like, it gives me a little bit of nostalgia. So I enjoy it. Plus, like, LA to Vegas is a decent little commute.
Well, even when you're driving what would be a 20-minute drive here, you're stuck in the car for an hour in California, so you got to like it.
I mean, yeah.
I sit in a car from here to, like, let's say the beach in California, 5 hours if traffic. I'm done by then. So a plane ride or anything further than that, nope. I'm flying. Can't do it.
I mean, 45 minutes is definitely great. And I definitely, you know, I would prefer to fly, get the time. But I really do enjoy. Sometimes you got to do different things that just put you in a good, like, mental space.
Yeah,
and
sure.
for me, driving sometimes just puts me in that mental space.
Okay. Well, speaking of, like, your mental space as a whole, right? So I know you kind of used to do real estate. You dabbled into it. Got out of it.
It wasn't a dabble. I was in there for 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a little longer than a dabble.
So then what took you out of it?
Honestly, I didn't see myself being an older realtor. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't aspire to be a broker. You know, having agents underneath me wasn't something that I desired. And I didn't want to be a 67-year-old agent showing people homes and selling homes. That's just not what I desired to do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So there was one deal in particular that it basically decided for me, like, this was going to be my last deal, you know? And basically it was, I was actually getting some merch done, right? I was getting some merch done, and it never happens like this. Maybe this has happened to you, but it doesn't really happen like this. You meet somebody for the first time.
Yep.
They ask you what you do. Hey, I happen to be an agent. I had on, you know, my branded polo at the time. I had my backpack with me, so I had my laptop with me. And he said, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, I'm an agent, whatever. He was like, oh, I'm actually looking for a house. I'm like, okay, cool. So he put my order in. I had some downtime looking at them homes. He wanted to find a house in Salton Sea. There wasn't that many. It was like 3 homes listed. Literally, the first home I sent him, he was like, yo, that's the one. That never happens like that.
No.
He's like, that's the one. Can we put an offer on it right now? That house was on the market for like 180 days. I submitted an offer. It was overpriced. I did research. I saw it. That's why I didn't move.
Yeah.
The seller just didn't want to compromise on the price. Did the comps. The deal needed to be done for $60,000 under what he wanted. So my client at the time wanted the house, so he's willing to pay over. So once we did once it got appraised, we saw it wasn't worth it. So then my client was like, nah, I don't want to do it. So we had to back out.
Yep.
Right? And the seller didn't want to come down. So exactly. So fast forward, let's say 3 months, I get the call, like, Brendan, I want it. So we got to go back and get it.
Yep.
At this time, the house is tied up in another deal, but it didn't happen because the same reason. The seller wanted the price, the house not worth that, and the buyer didn't want to pay that. So the deal ended up falling apart. So my guy actually wanted it so bad that he was willing to pay the extra 30. We compromised and got it for 30 instead of 60. It was 30 over. That house was in Salton Sea. So Salton Sea from LA is 2.5 hours. So I drove 2.5 hours twice to do that deal, which is really 10 hours of my time driving in the car for one deal.
2.5 there and
2.5
then back.
right? And that commission on that house was only about $6K. But it wasn't about the $6K. Because in LA, like, you're going to average like 20, 25,000 commission because the homes is like $1 million.
It's
you know
ridiculous.
So it wasn't about the commission. It was about 10 hours driving to do this deal, plus the extra 3 months on top of pitching and closing the deal, which is probably like around 4.5 months. So 4.5, 5 months to close a deal that was $6K, and it took me 10 hours of my time physically going there and back, plus all the time on the side. I was like, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, no, I think in other states it can be really difficult like that. Like here we have it good.
Yeah.
Like I'll complain about driving from my side of town to Henderson, which is about a 40, 45-minute drive. I can't imagine doing it in California.
Well, this is the thing.
Because there's just so many different associations also, different cities, and you have to register with all of them, right?
No, you just register. It's the same. You just have a bigger territory.
Okay.
I ordinarily would not have done a deal in Salton Sea. You know, just logistically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but it
The
seemed
reason
like
why
a
I did
slam
it,
dunk, essentially.
It was a slam dunk, and then it was a referral.
Yep.
So I wanted to take care of the client that was referred to me.
Yep.
But I'm happy that I did it because what it did was it allowed me to see that I can make more money in a day than I could make in a couple of months in real estate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or I can make the same money. So that was just it allowed me to look at things very differently. So I was super grateful and thankful for that opportunity. Plus, like I said, like I'm licensed in California, Massachusetts. Both licenses are expired right now, but I done a ton of deals in Mass, ton of deals in LA. So I had an opportunity to experience that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was grateful for that. And if I want to get back in there, I just, turn the licenses back
Yeah,
on.
you just go do what you got to do a few classes, pay the fees, and you're back in.
Pay them fees, bro.
So you get out. How quickly do you get into podcasting?
So I've always been podcasting. I've been podcasting since 2018. Monetizing it, I learned in 2021. So I was always doing interviews and doing shows. Podcasting would allow me to build relationships.
Yep.
So the first reason why I got into podcasting because I didn't have any mentors. I didn't know no millionaires. I didn't know anyone that was really getting to it. I didn't have nobody at home that I could see that was making 7 figures that wasn't in corporate. All my friends or people around me that were making 6 figures, they was just doing it in corporate. Like they just get a job, get a nice position, make the money, get married or have a home, go home, repeat.
Well, that's just the life that the world sells to you, or what people think is normal, right?
100%.
And you can kind of get stuck into that. But when, especially like being a realtor at a younger age, like we both were, you kind of see that there's another way to life.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and that's what it was, man. And that's honestly what it was. So, podcasting allowed me to talk to a bunch of interesting people. So as I'm talking to interesting people, I'm learning what they're doing. I'm learning what else is out there.
Yep.
I'm getting like mini coaching sessions. You know what I mean? I'm getting mini therapy sessions in a sense. I'm having these like epiphanies in real time.
And we'll get into therapy. Don't worry.
Exactly. So I'm doing all of that stuff. And then I just started discovering like digital products, bro. So once I discovered digital products and I had a couple of I've experienced a couple of different coaching programs and like courses and stuff like that. That's when the light bulb really went off. And I had a couple of friends that observed what I was doing on the digital product side and helping people turn, what they were doing in their physical businesses into online businesses. You know what I mean? It just dawned on me that like, yo, I can combine what I know in this space with what I know in this podcast media space. And there's something here that I don't hear people talking about. There's not a conversation I'm hearing people talk about. So that's kind of like what allowed me to start building in the
Yeah,
podcast
you can kind of
space.
not weasel your way in, but find kind of what's missing in something that you're also passionate about, learning yourself and teaching others and kind of make it your own.
Yeah, 100%.
That's sweet, man. So with you kind of reaching out to me, I did a podcast with Reynald Kent.
Yeah.
You saw it. You said you loved it. You wanted to do it. So when you're working with your clients and you're putting them on podcasts, like, are you all day looking for podcasts to put them on? Or is it like if it pops up on your For You page or your algorithm, then you kind of start looking? Like, how do you find these podcasts that you want to start putting your people on?
It's a combination of both, man. I actually have a team. So I have a team of like VAs that are searching shows. I've searched a bunch of shows doing just my own right.
Yep.
And then every time I do see a show or something, I'm taking a note. So I'm adding it. I have this big podcast. I call it the repository. So we have over 500 shows currently, from virtual shows to in-person shows to IG lives, to streaming shows, to influencer content. So I have it all in all on the repository. And then that way, my team, like let's say you're a client of mine, and you're looking to get on, let's say, real estate shows or investing shows, we can go right to that bucket, and then we can pull shows in that bucket, and then pitch you for that for those shows.
Yep.
And then depending on if it's virtual or in person, then we'll start coordinating, a tour or a show run for you.
Yep. That's sweet, man. I think the goal with me here is just to have as much like one-on-one time with people that I think have very interesting minds and good perspectives and just experience like in their realm of business. And so, do I want to monetize this one day? Absolutely would love to.
You can monetize it right now.
But, well, we'll get into it. Well, I don't see. That's what I don't. I'm thinking I need to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers before I sell the damn thing.
That's
right?
what everybody. See, that's
And so,
the thing. In podcasting, there's 3 things that people think they need to make money, and it's a lie, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need a large audience. You know what I'm saying, to make money podcasting. You don't need brand deals, and you don't need sponsorships. But everyone thinks that these are the things that I need before I can make money. And then normally one of the first products a podcast will get is merch. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. No one wants your show merch.
Yep.
No one's paying for that because the show's not a brand yet, unless you're coming from a space where you solidify it as a brand and you just happen to turn it into a media company. I might want it at that point, right?
Yep.
But what you want to do is you want to monetize your value. So if someone already like you're in real estate, right? So I'll give you an example. When I was in real estate, one of the first things I did was create a real estate digital product. And that digital product was teaching realtors how to get leads through social media. So my audience for that product was realtors looking to grow a presence on social media, right?
Yep.
So you can make a product right now teaching realtors how to build a podcast so they can get in front of more people. I would buy that. It's $47, $37, right? 22 sales on a $47 product is $1,000. You did the joint one time. You made a book one time. You can keep selling it.
Yep.
Now you can use your podcast, put commercials. Hey, what's going on? This is Gage. Listen, before we get into the show today, I want to let you know all about my brand new book, how I'm helping realtors get on social media and get more leads. So if that's you, click the link in the bio. In today's episode, we got Brendan.
Bro, you're blowing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
so
the perspective you have
Yeah.
and just like the things you've done is like you see people do these things, and then you're in my position, right, where
Yeah.
you're doing all of this and selling homes, posting content, but doing it that way, like you hear people do it, but you don't think to do it yourself.
Yeah,
And then it's like
I would
you
agree
come
with that.
here and say it, and I'm just like, holy shit, now I
Yeah.
have to record a commercial and get it done.
100%. Another thing that I feel like if I was in real estate, I would do this. So you deal with more sellers or buyers?
For the first 2.5 years, it was primarily all buyers. I had, I think,
Okay.
2 listings.
Okay, so with buyers.
Since then, though, it's been very 50-50.
Okay, so with buyers, okay, let's use buyers for example. So with buyers, typically when someone comes to you and want to buy a house, they need to go and do stuff first.
Yeah.
Like be like, hey, yo, I want to buy this home, and then you kind of assess what they got going on. But typically, a smaller or maybe half a percentage of people are actually really ready to go buy the house. They
Yep.
got to go fix their credit, get the taxes together, save money, whatever. There's something that they need to do.
Yep.
So most buyers don't know what they need to do before they are ready to buy a house.
Yep.
So if you made a product like the buyer starter kit, and it was like, these are the 5-6 things you need to do. This is how you can get ready to buy, right? And you sold that, or maybe that was a lead magnet. Now you're reducing the gap of time that's going to take for, like, let's say Rebecca
Yep.
to want to buy a house, because now if you promote that product, she can buy your $37 or your $99 mini course ready to buy program, right? She can get ready to buy in 90 days.
Yep.
And then when she contacts you, now you can put the offer in.
That's genius, dude. I spend so much time putting out videos, talking to people about just getting ready to get ready.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Because there are people that come and they're ready and they know how to get their bank statements and their taxes. They're all really nice on their computer, easy to find. But then there's people where it's like, I don't even know where that's at. I filed with TurboTax, don't know how to get them. And so you spend about a week to 2 weeks trying to gather everything in hopes that they're still like in that mood to buy a house, right? Like, I'm the type of person where you can't get me to do anything that I don't want to do.
That's everybody,
right?
not just
right.
you.
Well, that's that's what I'm saying. I've learned, right? That's everybody. So like, I want to do something. I want to do it now or the next 2 to 3 days. But something else comes up, that may get pushed back 3 months.
100%.
So you have a short period of time to get these people locked in, interested, and then now invested into the process.
Now, just imagine if you had that, and then within that, you built like 2 things. You had like maybe you had somebody that was doing accountability. So like every 14 days you checked in, right? And then you also had it where it was like a lead magnet. So once they got done with the steps, they go right to you.
Yep.
So then it's like they can pay you to get the steps, so you make money on the front end. They get in ready mode, and then you can still do the deal on the back end. But then when they come to you, you can do the deal. Or if you have an agent that you're partnering with or something, they can take care of the buyers. You can still focus on the listings.
Yep.
But now you got leads coming through, and they paid to become a lead.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put that on my to-do list
should.
as soon as we're done.
Yeah, you should.
Because that's
And
killer.
then let me know when you're done.
Yeah. No. Well, we're gonna link for sure. I mean, we've been. This is the first time we've met in person.
Yeah, I feel like
Everything's
we, I feel
been
like
online.
we super cool though.
But yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
just been nonstop back and forth since the day like you first reached out, which is why I'm not nervous to go kind of deep with you. So
go deep, bro.
let's pivot a little bit. So you're very open about, losing family at a young age.
Yeah.
Your mom's taking you to the dealer's house.
Yeah.
So like, you've seen the good, bad, and the ugly of life. And what stopped you from kind of following that path and realizing like, hey, I want to do the exact opposite of this?
Have you ever seen the movie The Place Beyond the Ponds?
Mm-mm.
It's a fire movie.
Okay.
Fire movie. But that movie kind of reminds me of me. So I'll give a quick little synopsis. So basically, it's a movie about this circus roadie, right? So he basically he rides his motorcycle and he just finds employment with a traveling circus. He's kind of just, he don't know, he doesn't have any purpose.
Yep.
So he just, the circus goes city to city. He has relationships with different girls. He likes riding a motorcycle, so he does the fire pit situation. But he's just kind of like aloof right now. So he ends up getting a girl in the movie pregnant. Like a city always goes to, he ends up getting her pregnant. So now it kind of kicks in. Damn, I got purpose. I got a kid coming.
Yep.
I got to start doing stuff. So he starts robbing banks to get money to take care of his kid, right? And then what happens is he ends up getting killed. But then later on, the son who never met him, because he gets killed before the baby's born, ends up picking up some of his father's idiosyncrasies, his father's characteristics, but they never met.
Yep.
It's a fire movie, right? So when I see that movie, it made me think, it's like, damn, I knew my father, but I never knew my father. Like the last memory I had of my dad, probably like around 6. So we never really had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So when he passed, it's like, what do I do that he used to do? Right? So that's the one thing I wouldn't say it haunted me, but it was just always in my mind. What is some of his stuff that I just inherently do?
Yeah. I mean, you want to
him,
know where you come
right?
from. Everybody does.
But then looking at his example, my mom's example, even my grandmother, who she didn't do drugs, but she smoked, so her life would cut short too because of lung cancer. My aunt. I just looked at all of my family members that I grew up with, all of the things that they were doing, and I saw how their life ended up because of the choices they made.
Yeah.
So it just automatically put a switch in me, like I'm not doing those things.
Just super observant and
Yeah.
like fully aware of
100%.
the cause and effects of
Not
what
doing
happened.
those things. Like my mom, she was doing heavy drugs. Dad doing heavy drugs. Their life got cut short because of that. Grandma, aunt, uncle, it was just smoking. Back in the day, smoking was like lifestyle back in the day, right?
Yeah, no,
And you could smoke on planes back in the day, right?
you had to smoke to kick it, essentially.
100%. So seeing those things in real time right in front of me, those made me just like, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. So it wasn't a hard decision to avoid it. But tragically, obviously, I'm losing those people closest to me because of those decisions.
Yep.
So it just put me in a situation. So I just had to like learn and grow kind of on my own, honestly.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even have a father figure. I didn't really have mentors. Not until I got older, I was like, oh, I could just pay or invest or go to a conference or watch YouTube all day on
Yep.
somebody I want to learn from or get into a book. That's when I started to like focus more on, okay, let me do and be more intentional about my growth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how that happened.
So for me specifically, like I had family and the things that they were into were more like prescription pills. And then that kind of led into, you know, heroin, meth.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw what it did and I was like completely scared straight. My dad was also a police officer my whole life, right? So I'm thinking like if I do any of this, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
So I had some alcohol like young teenager, but I never even like tried any drugs until after I got out of high school and into college and moved out of my parents' house. And it's not that I was scared of my dad, but I respected my dad. And then I didn't want to disappoint him, right? So at that age, I started living like two lives. You know, I was Gage with my friends, who was the life of the party. And then I was Gage with my family, who was young, smart, successful, and had the world at the tip of his hands, you know, at the edge of his fingertips. And it just...
By the way, I've seen Gage life of the party at that wedding you went to.
Hey, I get down to NSYNC,
You was going
baby.
crazy, bro. You was going crazy.
You put on any Justin Timberlake, and like, I embody him in my soul. But no, I still have that. But the big problem is that there were things that this Gage did that would never tell or share stories with the other family and friends that knew the other Gage. Mm-hmm. And I found myself like getting ripped apart from the two sides of my life. And when I finally brought them back together is kind of when, for me, everything took off in a positive way. And I started seeing that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know, if there is a God, he's got a plan, right? That's where my mind was at the time. And so I just started being one sole individual with one goal, not hiding anything from these people, not hiding anything from the family. And it was able to really propel my life and get me to where I am today, right? So, I mean, growing up through all of that you had gone through, you know, the family, things you did and didn't want to do, like, is there a moment in time or like a time period where like you really realized that, or was it just kind of always there from the beginning?
As far as wanting to turn things up, or
just like realizing like this could be my path, or maybe it would have been had you not done something.
Yeah.
Or this can be my path if I do the exact opposite, right?
I think I had like maybe two moments of that. I think literally going to like a crack house with my mom, like, and maybe as ironic as it sounds, I did enjoy going to the crack house with my mom. Mm-hmm. But it's because I was with her. It didn't matter where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was even a moment I remember, and I always remember this. It's like I wanted to go WWF. It was WWF back then.
Mm-hmm. Federation.
Yep. And she was like, you want to go to WWF or you want to go with mommy? And I knew what that meant. We going to the crack house. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I don't care where we going, right? Because my mom was kind of in and out of the house, so I just wanted to be with her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, my whole thing was like going to the crack house with her, seeing my grandmother. Like, I had just got my driver's permit.
So you're like of age to know like where you're going. You're not like a 5-6-year-old kind of naive.
Well, no. This is like teenage years.
Yeah, so you knew.
Yeah, but going to the hospital when my grandmother was suffering from lung cancer, and being able to vividly see her like from healthy to no hair to losing, like, you know, body definition, not being able to speak, just utter like sounds.
Yep.
Getting my permits, skipping school to go to the hospital, so excited to show her. And then that's the same day that she passes. And it's crazy, bro. I was getting on this elevator and they was wheeling off a body and something told me that was her. And then when I got to the room, she wasn't in the room.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I knew this was her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's heavy, bro.
But seeing those moments, it was like, all right, I'm not smoking. I ain't doing no drugs. You know what I mean? I'm not drinking. And that carried me through from like high school to college. I didn't really drink till I was like 34.
Really?
And I only did it just to test it. It wasn't like I'm drinking now. It was just like, all right, I'm 34 now. Let me see what this is about.
Yeah,
You know what I
dude,
mean? And it was the same thing with smoking too. I was like, let me see what this is about.
Yeah.
But neither one of them is for me. So I tried it to see what the hoopla was.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess me not doing it since I was younger, it's like I'm experiencing now as a wiser, more mature person.
Yep.
So it's just like I don't really see
Better
what it is.
for sure. Yeah. When I started experimenting, like I said, I had just gotten out of high school, moved out, was in college, and it's like, well, ain't nobody gonna tell me no.
Yeah.
So like smoked, drank, tried it, got into raves at a younger age, so you can imagine, right? And it got to a point where I decided like this isn't what I want, right? Like I had a dream, literally, where I'm in the apartment that I was living in at the time, and my dad comes in dressed as my dad, but he's saving me from the cops. And it's like this dream. He's like, we need to get you out of here. I don't know what you're doing. And it goes to like a third person like video game of my dad grabbing me out of the bed. I'm in a wife beater, like jacked, which will never happen, but it's a dream.
No, you could be jacked, bro.
But like prison jacked with terrible tattoos.
Yeah.
And he like is walking me out, and he grabs both my hands behind my back and one hand on my neck, and he's like walking me out of my apartment as if like he's arresting me. And he was just like, when are you going to get your shit together, kid? And since that day, like, I stopped doing all that stuff.
That's just you talking to you.
Oh, I know.
Ain't that crazy?
I know. And that's the wildest part, is because, like, I'd known that I was battling between who I wanted to be and who I was and who both of me was to different people. And, in that same dream, before that happens, it's like first person, and I'm in my crib or something, and I can see my mom and my dad's hands reaching in like on me, like, oh, playing with me, and I was trying to get back to that place in the dream, and it like shot me to my dad, like basically telling me to get my shit together. And it took some time, but yeah, I realized that that's just me, and I need to be able to police myself and be my own parent at times or at an age where your parents aren't able to do that anymore.
But there's hella parallels in there. It's like your dad's a cop.
Yep.
Right,
dude.
So he's forcefully taking you, but it's not. But he's not in that role in the dream. But he's your dad.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's like you talking to yourself. Then you battling with both sides of yourself.
Yep.
That dream, as vivid as it is literally you talking to you, showing yourself pictures of what's going to, like you said, get you to motivate you to go to the direction that, instinctually your mind and your soul and your spirit want you to go. So you needed that. Yep. You know what I'm saying, to start moving in that direction.
Mm-hmm. I've battled a lot with like faith in God, just with things happening, but I do believe that and I believe more now that there is a God more than ever, right? But like at the time and like still now, like I still believe like the divine God is also like it's in here.
I agree with that.
It's not out there, right? And so, being able to take my life and make what I want out of it is something that like I didn't really know at the time until that dream hit, and it's like I got to figure it out. And like that's where like therapy, talking to people, sharing that dream like allowed me to realize that's what that dream was, And so like at this age now, like I'll smoke cigars, but I don't drink unless like my best friend's in town or it's like a birthday. Like the wedding you saw me at, completely sober. Like I don't get how people go home and they're like, oh, I just want a beer, crack.
Yeah.
Because it's like you drink them, they don't really taste that good for one until you have enough. And then once you have enough, like I like being available to anybody if they need me. Right? And now that I have a daughter and Molly at home, it's like I'm needed all the time. So why would I put my mind in a place where I cannot be present and ready to take on whatever is needed of me, So
that's because you're a leader, bro.
I try.
You know what I'm saying? You're mature and you got priorities and responsibilities.
Yep.
And a lot of people, they avoid those things. You know what I mean? And honestly, like, okay, like I'm black, bro, right? My
Are you?
I think so. So my ethnicity, like, you know, I did the 23andMe, so it's like I got some Nigerian in there, I got some Scottish in there, I got some Irish in there, right? So people of color primarily, there's no fathers at the house, right? If you grow up in the inner city, you got a lot of different experiences. Me going to school, well, most kids of color going to school is an experience before you even get to school. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to battle before you even get to the classroom. So what I'm saying is, what you just shared is those moments and those experiences have shaped you to be the person you are, making the decisions you're making. The reason why a lot of people, and men in particular, are not stepping up because there aren't other men in their lives, or there are not other leaders in their lives or mentors in their lives that they can shape their life around. And if there's not a guy or a male figure or masculine energy in a house or close that they can tap into, they're not going to be disciplined, structured, realize where the purpose is, focus, have a strong routine, want to become more. It's not just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with having a really amazing mom or aunt and grandmoms.
But it's different.
But it's different.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a man with a lot of women energy. And I grew up with that, but I also had to search for more. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to lose a lot of money. I had to go through a lot of disappointments. I had to lose a big real estate property that I had. I had to go through pain. I had to go through these different things for me to, like you were saying, I had to wake up. I had to realize, damn, I gotta get this together. Damn, I need to get some discipline. And I need to get some structure. I need to grow. Damn, if I want to have a family, if I want this in my life in the future, I gotta go get it. So who am I gonna model myself after? What do I want?
Yeah.
And
So
I feel like
who was that for you?
it's
and
a
at what
loop
age?
when you don't have that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was me, bro. Like, you know, and which is kind of weird for me to say, because it's like back then I'm talking to my future self at the present at the time.
Yep.
But it's like, what do I see myself as in the future? So as that started kicking in for me, then I was able to discover other people, like, you know, like the late great Bob Proctor, people like that, you know, like Eric Thomas, Miles Monroe, you know what I mean? You know, or just learning, like once you go through a book path or a mentor path, you'll discover other people. So just that in itself, or not ever wanting to read, but then like, damn, I need to start reading. Like, you know, it's like the things that you avoid are the things that you need, you know? So like when people say like, damn, I don't feel like doing that, or this is hard, or those are exactly what you need to get you past the point of discomfort, of growth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you keep telling yourself that you don't want to do something, that's exactly what you need to do, because that's an area in which you're not growing. Yep. Because you're avoiding it.
So let's do a little practice real quick. So, and this is something that I had a therapist do with me. So what are two, 3, maybe 5 things that you have done?
2, 3, or 5?
Just 2 to 5, right? 3 may not be as much if you got a lot to share, right?
Yeah.
But like, what are things that you're so damn proud of?
Yeah.
Money you've made, accomplishments. It may make you sound arrogant as shit, but who cares? Because it's just you and me right now, right?
Yeah.
So what are those things that you've done that you going to school at 14, 15 years old would be like, damn, that's my life?
Yeah.
You know? Because I think it's really cool to look back and just like think, holy shit, like this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And kind of pat yourself on the back, because at the end of the day, nobody else is gonna do it for you except you.
Yeah, no one's doing that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably making $80K in a day.
That's sweet.
Which is good. I think that's something that I'm proud of. I think being able to like work from anywhere.
Yep.
With just my laptop on my phone. That's definitely something I'm proud of. Striving to become a better individual, like having choices every day. As simple as that sounds, and be able to make a choice, you know, without having to worry about, oh, like I have to do this. That's something I'm super proud of. And being able to create the future that I want, like having the freedom to do that.
Yep.
I think those things are, you know, and I'm putting myself in a position to do everything that I want to do.
Yep. So why then, all these are great things, right? Why do you think it's so taboo for somebody to say things like that to people or online? Like people, like I'm even afraid to kind of share some of my wins because I know that others haven't had them, right? But I'm also sharing them in a way because I want to start educating. I want to sell courses, right? Or I want to be the person that people come to when they have questions. But like it's just so taboo in this world to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just see it as you being like
arrogant.
cocky. Yeah.
So this is the thing. I think we got it messed up. Like arrogance, cocky, that's not negative, bro. It's like if we were designing God's image, we're supposed to be a reflection of him at the highest level.
Yep.
So that means you're at the highest level. Right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't see yourself at the highest level, it's because you was conditioned to be at the lowest level. The thing is this. You know, if you buy a video game now, it don't come with no instructions. You got to figure everything out. Even your iPhone. There's hella shit that the iPhone does. We probably have. We only using probably a small percentage of its capacity.
Yep.
There's no instructions. Right? So think about you. You're born. You don't really know what's the best food for me to eat. How much sunlight do I need?
Dude, we're going to get into that.
You don't know that stuff.
Yeah, no.
So now we're just doing things that mom shows us, dad shows us, the friend does. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're just doing things that feels good, that taste good, that sound good.
And you're a product of your environment,
100%.
not even knowing what else.
You don't even know how to take care of yourself. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about this body that you have is not going to be here forever. The mind that you have can still grow and expand, right? So if you don't know how to operate the body that you're in or take care of it, right? If you don't know how to optimize your hearing, your eyesight, your brain cognition, the way that you think, the way that you process, right? Mm-hmm. Emotional intelligence, how to even treat someone else, or how to even treat yourself. There's no way you're going to be able to actually give it what it needs so it can thrive. So I always use this comparison. What kind of car you got?
A RAV4.
Okay, so your car, this comparison is not going to work because you need a car that takes like high octane gasoline. So let's say a BMW.
Okay.
So BMW, Mercedes, that you need to put 93 in there. Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna work if you put 89 or 87 or 91. Yep. It's literally going to break down over time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you don't put oil in it, the engine's going to seize. You might be driving one day on a highway, smoke. You pull over, it's a wrap. So you have to put 93. So what does that mean? That means people will put 93 in the car because they know the car needs it or it's going to work or it's not, or it's going to not work. Mm-hmm. But people don't know what's 93 for themselves. So they're putting in 91, 89, 87.
McDonald's.
Not even exactly fake food, synthetics.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're not taking the time to understand, wow, I'm in God's design. I'm a creator. My highest cognition is this. These are the things I'm able to do. I can expound.
Yeah.
You know what? I can create something right now. We created something today. Your thought, well, we did this a while ago, but the thought was, have this podcast today. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna talk to Brendan about whatever. I'm gonna have this idea that I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna arrive to Vegas. I'm gonna be on a set. I'm gonna be talking with Gage. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna meet one of the best producers in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go through this. This was a thought. So that means we created this moment. All of us. We created this moment.
We're the only beings on earth that can
create
think and create something.
So when it comes to money, love, or you being better, or you just wanting to grow, whatever it is, you have the thought, you can create it, and it can just happen.
Yep.
Right? So when we're stuck, for some reason, we don't realize that we can create the solution to get unstuck.
Well, you want to know what my conspiracy theory is on that? I think everyone has the capability of doing that, right? But you get to a certain point where you're stuck in this replay.
Yeah.
Right? And I think 2020 opened up a lot of people's eyes to a lot of things, but the big thing for me and my family was our foods. And just the ingredients, the seed oils, the colorings that don't need to be there, using cane sugar over palm sugar, all this stuff that literally rots your brain, gives kids at a young age ADHD, and they put them on all these prescriptions.
That's not a conspiracy,
when they
bro.
Just,
That's how it works.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is like the conspiracy in it all is they're not allowing us to get to our highest point because, realistically, you have to have your grunt workers of the world to make it run, right? And that's just, we're programmed. People have been doing it for years. And like you were saying, you don't know what you don't know. You grow up eating cereal for breakfast, not knowing that you're taking in all this sugar. No wonder why kids are going to school freaking out.
100%.
You know, they can't focus and do their school. So yeah, they're gonna put them on Ritalin, Adderall.
But that's the thing.
It's ruining kids.
Sorry to interrupt the flow. One of the cameras came off. My bad.
Okay, yeah, no worries. You going crazy?
My bad, guys.
Nah, that's
You're
good, bro.
dying.
I don't know why I did that.
It just went?
Yeah, a little while, but I've just been on the wide angle.
Oh, that's fine. Perfect.
I was waiting for the good moment to interrupt.
You're good.
And we're good. You guys are good.
All right. Where was I at? Cereal.
Yeah, I think I was talking about.
But it's just
You hit on the head with that.
Yeah, it's just people aren't getting a chance because their bodies, their minds, their organs aren't developing at the youngest of ages when they need, whole foods, actual organic foods that aren't just labeled as organic, but still have all the bad shit when you look at the ingredient list.
But how do you prevent people from doing that? You prevent people from doing that by not letting them know what the instructions are, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Again, iPhone, it could do so many things. Most people only use it for social media, their internet,
Yep.
phone call, FaceTime, maybe some apps. Some people not. I like using Siri. Some people don't even use Siri. She could do everything.
use
You
her
just
every
ask her
day.
anything. She'll do it for you. But most people are only using the phone. That's probably like 5% capacity of the device. And it's not that we wouldn't do more. We don't know. So now we have to go on YouTube or whatever, figure out what else can the iPhone do, and then learn about all these things that it can do. So if you're not even cognizant that, wow, my body is my mind is this amazing thing. It can do all things. I can read a book or watch a bio or do an audio of somebody that spent 20, 30 years on a particular discipline. I can learn that discipline in a couple of hours, and then I can execute that the same week or the next week because of this.
Yep.
That is damn near magic. But if you don't know that, you're not aware of that, you're not going to search out, okay, how do I take care of this so I can now vibrate at the highest level, my frequency could be at the highest level, and then I can create, or I can, be more responsible for my family or for myself. I can be someone that can be more accountable. I can stop making decisions that are not going to be best serving for who I am and who I desire to be. So they keep it from you, bro.
That's the world.
If it's raining outside and I take all your jackets, you get wet, bro. Yep. It's a guarantee. You're gonna do other things, and then eventually you're gonna be like, well, I guess getting wet is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You just gonna be programmed to I'm just gonna get wet.
This is just what happens.
This is what happens.
Oh, I've never heard that analogy before, and if you hear me say that on other episodes,
bro, listen, it's yours. You share that, bro.
So, with all of that, right? What's next for you? You said you're going on tour?
Yeah. So right now, couple things. So yeah, I'm going on tour, and the tour is gonna be based around 5 components, and that is doing live workshops on podcast monetization, digital products, podcast guest masteries, what I call it, speaking out of school, hosting a podcast, guesting on a podcast, and then documenting the whole thing. What I intend to do is show entrepreneurs and business owners that once you have a message or product or service, take that message and get more exposure with it. Go on your own tour.
Well, that's what music artists used to do back before all the social media. They release a song, an album. Now they're going on tour talking to every radio station.
Yeah.
So
And
it's you're getting yourself on your own radio station.
100%. So that's what I'm sharing with them. And I want to educate. So the speaking portion is me going to schools to speak. So outside of that, the other thing that I'm focused on is just building out, my business structure and systems, delegation and automation. So now I can start focusing on my next wave, which is going to be mergers and acquisitions, like buying businesses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Andre J. Volsi.
Yeah, like Volsi, my guy Bees, like Cody Sanchez. That's where I'm going to be at.
Yep. I have my episode with Andre coming out soon.
Yeah,
like I
it's gonna
said,
be
I've been
fire.
busy, but I got an editor now, so we're good. I took the advice. I've been
Yeah.
sitting on podcasts, guys, for probably since September. It's December right now, or almost. No, we're in November. Just
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, that's
but-
the cheat code. So for podcasters out there, get an editor. Like, don't shoot it yourself and then spend double the time editing it. Just you can pay a VA, or you can get somebody that's domestic to do it for you, or you can get an agency to do it for
Yep.
you. It's gonna save you a lot of time.
It's just been hard, man. Like I'm sitting on them. I need to edit, and it's literally just watching it and cutting it. But at the same time, things come into play. You got to fix the audio, all that stuff. I got a baby at home.
You don't got time to
I
watch
got-
and cut, bro.
I have more buyers than I've ever had at one point in time. Like, we're in the slow season of real estate, and I've never had a better quarter in my career,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just
First off, congratulations.
thank you, baby.
Yes, sir.
So I've needed to do this. I've needed to get a team. Shout out Luis, and so yeah, Andre's episode will be coming out. Yours is gonna be out by the time we're even done editing. So
That's what's
like
up.
I'm gonna walk out of here and it's gonna be gone. I got to upload it and put it on a schedule. But,
Okay, nice.
But yeah, things are in motion. I'm hoping to do a lot more of this, and we talked real estate today, but it's what I do. It's what you did. You're educated on it. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But like this connection, the relationship, the whole reason why you're going on tour, like that's kind of like what this is for me, and like I'm hoping to build it. Again, I don't even care about the views. Monetization would be great, but you said I don't need
You
those
don't
to
need it, bro.
monetize, so
Nope.
that's even better.
I told you.
But it's just being able to share my stories, hear others, and then let other people watch it and relate. Like that's the whole point of all of this,
Facts. I think you're doing a great job, bro. To be honest with you, like I said, it caught my attention early. Like I think your conversation,
With Reynald.
well, the level of conversation I think is
Well, he brings it out of anybody.
But you have it though. I had a podcast with him too. Mm-hmm. But you have it. I mean, okay. Let's assess.
Okay, gas me up or tear me down.
Let's assess real quick, right? So you're not reading from a sheet.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not reading from a sheet. You're able to discern conversation and then ask questions based on the conversation, which means you're listening and preparing the next question in real time. There's a lot of people that cannot do that.
Bro, my mind's racing when I'm listening to you talk.
Right?
I'm taking it in.
So
I'm
there's
listening.
there's people that can't do that though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's people that I have to have the questions. I got to have all 5 questions, right? And they got to read from them. Right? Then you're able to discern it, right? Mm-hmm. Right? So and then you have a certain level of poise, right? And then the cadence of the conversation. So there's a lot of things high level, communicative that you display, plus the aesthetics of the show that are going to give this show a certain level of cachet. Mm-hmm. A lot of people can't do that.
You got a tissue over there?
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to encourage you to obviously keep doing it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if this is the farthest of the bottom that you're ever going to be today. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes we're really self-critical. I know I'm
Oh,
self-critical.
dude, I'm my own worst critic.
100%. So sometimes we have to have like Luis or whoever your accountability bros are or your mentor, whatever case may be,
Yep.
to just give you that level, but then remind you of where it is.
Yep. So now that you say that, I'll tell you, for probably the first 15, 20 minutes of this episode, I was thinking like, damn, I totally just screwed up on his intro. Because I usually kill it. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
like,
you
that's
can always-
probably the worst intro I've
You
had.
can always redo an intro.
But
man.
we'll make it up. Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
You can redo an intro.
It's
man.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. It's just my angle.
But that's good though.
Yeah. But I'm always like, I realize when I don't perform the way I want to, and then I'm like, I don't let it get me down though. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, step it up.
Yeah.
So, all right, baby. Well, we're getting near to the end here.
Yeah.
I mean, we know where you're going, what you're doing. As far as that, I definitely think we need to get a part 2 here.
That's cool. Listen, I enjoy Vegas,
Start
bro.
connecting more. I know, you're
Yeah.
close enough.
I enjoy Vegas. I come back. I was just here last week.
You're talking shit about how much I golf, but I promise I'll get you out there and you won't stop.
Oh, listen, I'm not complaining. I'm not going to complain about golf. I actually want to golf with Ryan Pineda, so we're going to be doing that soon. But, bro, I'm telling you, man, I really feel like one of your closing gifts should be they get to golf with you. Because if I'm a buyer or if I have a home and I see that as part of the marketing,
Yep.
you're going to be like, that can be part
Okay,
of.
so
People will do that.
Let's
bro.
wrap it up with this,
Yeah.
right? So that was a great idea. I think about that. I think about, creating like when someone closes, I have them looking at homes. I have conversations we've had recorded, and then when they close, they get this whole video. Kind of like if you had your own wedding, and
Yeah,
you
that's
get
cool.
a video, right? And like I've wanted to do those things, but then I start thinking about, okay, how do I do it right? Or does everyone gonna golf? And I just keep shutting it down.
Yeah.
But I've 100% am trying to find something to where when somebody knows they're coming to use my services and I'm gonna help them, like, what is the experience they get out of that besides just buying the house?
Well, you
right?
can have a like a sub show, or they can even come on this show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've thought about doing like an episode with like clients where they don't talk about me at all or what I did, just like what made them want to buy right now, right? Or what was it like going through the process? What are things that they experienced? What are things they wish they did differently? And like really just hear it from the buyer's perspective. Because I could sit here and talk about it all day.
Yeah.
But I'm the one making money because you're about to do what I'm telling you to do.
Facts.
Right? So, yeah, working on it. But you and I got a lot to talk about, figure out.
Yeah.
So
we'll go there.
I've appreciated all the insight, the help, just reaching out, being, like you said, just a good friend. Like, I'm looking at you for the first time today, but I feel like, again, like I've known you for
I feel like I know
a
your
long
family.
time. Yeah.
Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Little One. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I do have something for the people. I got a new number that I want them to tap into to make sure that they get access to this information. Let me make sure I have the right number.
Drop
with
it.
Me. Okay, I got it right here. All right, so text the word guest to 214-214-1639, 214-214-1639. What I have on there is a free, 10-minute video that's going to teach people, the mastery behind guesting. So how to optimize and grow their audience.
Yep.
Regardless of how many people are watching, regardless if it's virtual or if it's an in-person, I want to teach you how, if it's one person watching or 100 or 10,000, how you can turn that into money back into your business and grow. What's one of the most important things that a lot of people, I know you're watching, that you're not doing is growing your list. Your email list, your text message list, growing a community, nurturing that, and then being able to monetize that. So even when I was a realtor, or just regular business owners, I have the conversation all the time. They don't have a list. So I'm going to show you how to optimize podcast guesting on the front end, and then how you build your list on the back end. It's completely free. Just hit that number and comment the word guest, and we get you in there.
There you go. What was it? 213-214-1639. There you
Text
go.
guest to 213-214-1639. We'll put a link in the information below as well so you don't miss it. And hopefully it's a brand new number. So hopefully that's what it's going to be. But it's going to be below. Tap in, get this free information, and go crazy.
All right, bros. So put a bow on this thing, wrap it up. Guys, this has been Sel with GNL. Brennan Boyd, the Millionaire Mindset, the Pod Agency. You're going to hear a lot about him. Catch you later.
Word. I could do a drop.